Speedway, okay? We're talking late models or limiteds, okay? We ran the 5-star fiberglass body,
Right.
okay? Not one. I could sit there and take a limited that was running a steel body car and beat the hell. And the reason why I say that is because the same argument came up with Greg Biffle and
Darren Shaw.
yeah, okay, and came up and said, "Hey, check this out. I can sit there and take this car and beat that car." Greg's like, "No way. No, you can't." Guess what? Beat him by almost two. What was it? I want to say 2 seconds, but I think that's a big deal. But I mean, it was a difference of quite a bit. And it's like, okay, but there's no difference between a fiberglass body and a steel body car, except for stock appearing.
And see, I'm saying aluminum bodies, like the 34 of Gaylord.
Okay, but check this out.
Which has
sat there.
I mean, we've
I
heard
sat
that.
there.
It's a topic of debate.
I was up there at Weinbarger's when that car was being put together. And Colin even sat there and said, people are going to sit there and bitch because the back fenders and stuff go all the way and they're almost straight. Has he won a race? Has he been up in the top 5? Has he had
some
any
top 5s?
But has he had any
He's
performance difference from what that car looked like last year to what that car is this year?
I think I think
he's kind of getting away from what you're saying, and I
here.
understand it. I'm being in the middle here. I understand what you're saying, and I understand what you're saying, and you're absolutely right. I have heard comments about that 34 car, and
Colin knew it when he was building the
we
car.
all did. We all did as soon as we saw it.
But there's no performance enhancement on that car.
But I think if you look at true street stock rules, I think that you're going to how do you say it without
just
the steel body cars is what I think you're going to be.
No, and I see where Joel's coming from, and
I'm not going to say limited to, but probably committed to.
Yeah, if you want to have a stock Camaro, have a stock Camaro, have the fenders, have the hood, have
No, but I don't care if it's a '77 Monte Carlo. You can see down at the Bud Nationals. I mean,
but
you got
have
these guys
the steel
these
on
big,
it, right? But have the original
right
still instead of having what Joel's talking about, the sheet metal panels.
Well,
and all that
you eliminate you eliminate so much red tape and so much other, if you want to call it BS, when you don't allow that.
Okay, so what if there's some cars that say are so out of date, say like a '76 Nova or whatever the case is, right? And you can't find a quarter panel for it. Unless it's in, like, Michigan. Are you going to sit there and mail order a front quarter panel?
I don't.
Or are you going to sit there and build one out of sheet metal?
I don't have the answer to that. But
no, but I'm saying if that is something, and this is something that I would bring up and say, hey, I got an old Camaro, okay? And
you're not going to have a lack of Camaro parts.
Well, okay, so let's go with the Nova. Yeah. Okay, this is what I love to drive. This is everything. This is my car for years. It's been my baby. It's been everything. Can't find a panel for it. So can I not race anymore because I'm just happening now to make a sheet bottle panel?
See, this is all going to be a debate. I know it's going to be a long.
This is why I brought this up.
I know.
Right.
I personally don't care. I want to be able to stick a magnet on all the panels.
As long as it sticks. And it's not
I don't
want
to see a straight down slab body. I don't want a sportsman looking car. I want to make it look like it's an original panel.
See, and I agree
that's
with
what
you.
I want to see.
I
know the
personally,
cars.
as a race fan of street stocks, that's what I'd want to see.
No, and I agree with you. I'm just sitting there stating, what somebody hasn't said or what somebody is going to say. Because you know me, I'm going to sit there and I bring up so much crap that people are like, well, that's just Josh. And that's the reason why I'm here.
Here's why I say this is my point of view. This I'll tell you all about in a short amount of time what changed my perspective on street stock racing. Period. Okay, as a kid growing up, Josh, you and I grew up together at the racetrack for 20 years, and we watched the legends. We watched Mark Howard. We watched Russell, Jay Bugby, Don Wilson. We watched the greats. Okay. Make that transition from the steel body cars into the current late models. Mm-hmm. As a kid, that whole transition period was like what we saw. Like, whoa, these are the cool cars. These are race cars. These aren't something you go buy and build. These are race cars, and it was exciting for us. And that's kind of like where I think we all kind of went like, wow, this is really cool. The wedge cars and the sideboards and the chassis and
that was a real race car back then.
So here's where it all changed for me, and this is so funny.
Remember the J cars and all that.
Well,
stuff?
Because you watch it and you get so acclimated, so used to what you're seeing at the track with the same guys week in and week out, or you go to one track and this guy's here, and then you go to the next track, he's there the next week. 4 years ago, went down to the Budweiser Nationals, and the street stock deal they do down there is a whole lot different than what we do. Those guys are on DOT tires, and you will not see a Camaro in the field. They don't let you have them.
They're outlawed back east.
Well, in California, you're not going to see them. What you do see, you see Monte Carlos, you see Novas, you
The
see
square
guys,
body cars.
I'm talking like a 77 Monte Carlo with like a front end that's like 16 feet long, and these guys are out there, and they're driving these cars like late models. I started watching this when I wasn't announcing the show going, wait a second, this is cool. And then I kind of started really paying attention to the street stocks, and what's taken place here in the Northwest with the street stocks has been, stellar. Hands down, they're my favorite class.
And see, that's the same thing with us.
But I would be one of those guys. I'm a purist. I'd rather see somebody with a car like Kyle Yak than a body like, and it's not a knock on Gaylor. It's a great looking race car. Not a knock on Colin Weinbarger for the craftsmanship, but I'd rather see that stock appearing look.
Okay, so then it gets back into
The steel body cars.
the fiberglass then. Is that so? Realistically, when it comes down to it, then is Jeff Daniels' fiberglass body not legal then?
He wouldn't be legal on a normal night. They asked me ahead of time if they can bring their car, and I talked to all the guys and talked to the top 5 guys in the points, and they said that it was okay to bring it. But on a normal night, yeah, they're not legal to bring those cars. One thing I'm going to be looking at is motor placement. We don't want to see the motors pulled way back
set
in the
back,
cars.
right? And I agree with you on that too, because then you're kind of getting away from, the whole point of the class is grassroots racing. Then you start putting the engines, set back 25, 28 inches, whatever it is, and now you're really getting away from.
Well, that's the thing too. You don't want to move the motor mounts. You want to keep everything right where it's stock. Stock motor mounts.
Close to the stock location.
Right.
We want to see stock firewalls. We want to see stock floor plans.
No dropping the motor down, trying to get center of gravity.
If anything, you want to bring the motor up on those.
Right, but
cars
I'm
with the
talking.
weight
Some of these
transfer.
guys that they had ran asphalt. That's what they did is they took a lot of these old cars and they sucked them as far down as possible.
Right.
Now they're going to have to move them up if they want to start running dirt. I know there's a lot of asphalt street stocks that are still out there that have been converted over to dirt cars. So
that have been successful.
Very
we've
successful.
Seen it. You've seen it. You've seen a lot of cars from the old Eugene Speedway at Grove for all
I
the
think
years.
Don Schatz had an old. His
It absolutely
Yeah,
his car's an old asphalt.
the
Yeah.
11X, yeah.
Highly competitive race
That
car
thing
right
was fast this weekend too.
Yes, he was.
The second
Yeah.
day.
Yeah,
He's always fast. He's one of those
Yeah,
guys you just count on being fast.
Yeah.
he's got a win up at Lebanon.
Yep. He's got a win this year.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
almost beat me one night too.
Yeah. Well, Don, he's a throwback.
Yeah.
He's one of the guys that we watched growing up. He's not that. He's not that Dale Earnhardt Jr. mold. He's not that pretty boy that gets in the ring. He looks like he's gonna get out of the car and say, you know what?
Well,
you want to do it? I'll punch you in the mouth.
it's funny. I'm
That's a tough dude, and he's got that tough, rugged appearance. You talk with him; he's the nicest guy in the world.
Oh, he's cool as hell.
He loves the kids. He loves talking with the fans. But he's one of those guys that's old school, Donnie Allison, Cale Yarborough type. You
don't take no mess. I've seen him literally come on a Saturday, right? He came in just a little bit late, and I sat there and I was doing my pit walk and stuff, and I asked him, I said, the hell, man? I said, you're not here at 11 or noon like you usually are. I mean, it's 2:30, 3 o'clock. He goes, yeah, we just got done. We were up at 4 this morning doing asphalt. I'm like, are you kidding me? He goes, yeah. He says, then we had to go home, get everything ready or whatever like that, hightail it here, and then race tonight. And then turn right back around and go back to the job site tomorrow night, or tomorrow at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah,
I'm like, holy crap.
He's
Him and Checker Flag Asphalt, man, are just, he lives to work and he lives to play, and racing is his game.
He's a modern day John Wayne, man. He's
That
old school.
Yeah,
He
if
is.
he had a 6-shooter and
really.
a Duke's Coupe hat, I'm telling you, that's
Yeah.
exactly who it'd be.
The
So-
day of the Iron Giant, I did the same thing. We
You
went
were
there Friday
all
night.
over.
Yeah,
Well,
you
we went
were.
there Friday night, and we set up. We got there about 11 o'clock probably. We got the motorhome set up and everything. I left at 2 o'clock in the morning, went to work, and clocked in at 3. Worked all morning, got out about 9 o'clock, and then hightailed back to the track.
That's
Man.
insane, man.
That's
So,
1
hour of sleep,
hell-
and
Hell, I
Yeah.
tried to
didn't
put
get
that
up
show
until
on.
10. No.
Well, here
That was me Sunday.
race day.
Right, yeah, me
race
too.
day. Josh is calling me. Hey, man, you at the track? You gonna be there? I'm like, yeah, I'll be there shortly. About 1 o'clock too. I got there, 1 o'clock. Ready to get my notes, talk to my drivers, take the pit crews, and he's like, all right, I'll be there no later than 2 o'clock.
I roll in about 3:30.
Oh, come
We had
on.
listen. We
Come
had
on.
Listen,
It was
you
four.
can
It was
you
after
can even
4
ask
o'clock.
Doug Lockwood. Okay, so
It was
out
after
of
4 o'clock.
out
boys.
of Wilsonville, we had this major traffic
Oh,
jam
traffic.
from Wilsonville to, I swear to God, it was almost Salem. We were sitting there and putting, just like.
Yeah, putting it at Bullwinkles and racing go-karts.
Listen,
Yeah,
I shouldn't say this, and probably Trish will probably kill me, but we were going so slow that Aiden was getting irritated, so he drove for about 10 minutes. No, I'm kidding. I'm not kidding. He
I
sat
love
there
it.
because after we've put him in the car now, after he drives and after he drives his Power Wheel, that kid that's all he wants to do is just drive. And it's like, holy crap. So we're literally at probably 5 miles an hour, and people are going to probably just be pissed off at me because but got a big old motorhome and everything else, and all I did is I just set the seat back and put the steering wheel forward or whatever like that, and here he is.
That's funny.
Almost hit a car, but hey, it's all good.
So
I just
a
got up out of the
timeline.
seat.
A timeline for this meeting.
I'm
You're
just
thinking.
playing.
When are you thinking on this, Chris?
Like I said, beginning of November, and then we'll get there. I'm thinking around 7 o'clock, and I'm thinking Salem area. I haven't.
Kind of central to everybody coming up.
Yeah,
from
because I
both
know
ends
there's going to be a
the
lot
valley.
of people coming down from Washington, a lot
Right.
of people coming from all over the place.
Portland area, Eugene.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lebanon. Sure, I mean, that's pretty central.
So what I'll do too is, because we race Sunset this week, is I'll go around, I'll start talking to a bunch of street stock guys. And I know Bob McCord, I don't know if you've got a hold with him yet, but he also wants to sit there and start doing a different rule package and stuff for Sunset for some of the guys, like I said, St. Helens and for other places, whatever, just to get the car count. Because if you don't have if you don't have the rules for these guys to come down, it's stupid to sit there and have 5 of the best tracks in the Northwest all run totally different packages.
Right.
That's just, to me, that's just dumb. I believe, whatever animosity, whatever track owner and whatever promoter has with this person, we're like, that's not about you. It's about the friggin' racers. It's about the race fans.
Well,
Okay,
and
you guys want you guys want the count? Get together, get your schedules worked out, figure it out what you're gonna do. Let the racers and stuff come and put on a show. That's the whole reason
that's
why
the
they're
thing.
there.
You put together one rules package, and you're going to have better shows everywhere you go.
And you can go
and-
anywhere.
And again, Chris, keep us posted. Let us, we will put that out there for everybody. We'll make it a big deal. We'll get everybody up there to that meeting. We're behind you 100% on this deal. I think it'd be a great thing to see, and I want to see that success with that. I don't care if it's a 6, 8, 10, 20 race series, whatever it is. Let us know, because we'll keep
That'd be
everybody.
an awesome series.
We'll keep everybody updated on any changes. We'll keep everybody updated on what happened at the meeting. What the rules packages are, whatever it is. Whatever we can do to help you with that, we are on board 100%, man.
That sounds great. I also had a couple guys come up to me and ask if we want to do an asphalt track. See if we bring all the bring our whole
Ooh.
series.
I like it.
Do
I like
a points
this.
race at like either Roseburg or Yakima, or I don't know where the other asphalt tracks are around here, but
Well, we got Tenino, that's South Sound.
When you've got
That's right there in Tenino, right off of exit 88A.
You got the one over there in Central Oregon.
Yeah, we do.
that's
what's
a road course, isn't it?
No, it's an oval. It's it's not
Not Pendleton.
They call it the
Hermiston?
Hermiston.
Yeah, the Hermiston Super
But
Bowl.
That's quite a ways though.
Yeah, that's way.
That's
well,
way a ways.
We're
You'd
up
almost
for
want it to be
options.
up and down the I-5 corridor.
They will come.
Well,
You bring the cars. The
we
fans
built
will show.
$5,000 and they sure came, but they weren't told $5,000. It was
You
almost
make
like
a race over there in Hermiston, and the winner gets $2,500 and a watermelon. People are coming.
Yeah.
People are coming.
Well, I could go for the
You
watermelon.
call it the watermelon 100.
the watermelon. one?
That's what they grow over there,
Right?
Right.
We could.
We could have it. I mean, it could be a neat deal. But that's old school stuff right there, going back to the old I-5 series when they ran them on dirt and asphalt.
Yep.
You find out who's good everywhere.
Well, it's just like how NASCAR finally is getting their their head together and running on the dirt. And mind you, that's only one class.
NASCAR has, and we're gonna. This is gonna end up being a rabbit trail. I can see it, but NASCAR they've got to do something to get the fans back in the stands. NASCAR right now is the biggest joke in motorsports. I can't stand it. I don't watch it.
It's NASCAR.
It's
well,
stupid.
we got
It's
25
stupid.
hours of pre-race, and then after pre-race, then we have I don't know, probably 6 or 8 hours or whatever like that of on-grid race, and then you go into a race of 4 hours, and it's
so
not even
corporate.
racing anymore.
It's just a corporate advertisement
Yeah.
for 3 hours on TV. It's a joke. I can't stand NASCAR, and I won't watch it. I'll go to a dirt track. I don't care if it's dirt track cage karts or go karts. I'll watch that long before
Oh, absolutely.
a NASCAR
I think
race.
go-karts are even